Your lemon tree has yellow leaves, the flowers keep falling, the fruit stays small, and no matter how much fertilizer you add, nothing seems to work. In fact, the tree may actually be getting worse. Most gardeners respond the same way. They see yellow leaves and assume the tree is hungry, so they add more fertilizer, then more, and sometimes even more. But what if the real problem isn't above the soil? What if the danger is hiding where you can't see it, beneath the surface, deep in the root zone? Because in many cases, a struggling lemon tree isn't suffering from a lack of nutrients, it's suffering from a lack of healthy roots. And if the roots are damaged, suffocating, or beginning to rot, the tree can no longer absorb the nutrients it desperately needs. Today, we're going underground to uncover the hidden problem that slowly kills thousands of lemon trees every year, and we'll explore a simple method that may help stressed roots recover before it's too late. Let's start with the symptoms, because this is where most growers get confused. The leaves begin turning yellow, growth slows down, new shoots appear weak and thin, flowers fall before they can develop into fruit, and the fruit that does survive often remains small and disappointing. At first glance, it looks like a nutrient deficiency. That's why many gardeners immediately reach for fertilizer. The problem is that these symptoms don't always mean the tree lacks nutrients. In many cases, the nutrients are already present. The tree simply can't absorb them. Imagine trying to drink through a blocked straw. The water is there, but it can't reach you. That's exactly what happens when the root system begins failing. The leaves show deficiency symptoms. The branches weaken. The fruiting cycle slows down. But the real problem isn't in the canopy. It's happening underground. And unless the roots recover, the visible symptoms above ground will continue getting worse, no matter how much fertilizer is applied. Most people never think about roots. They're hidden, invisible, easy to forget. But roots are the true engine of a lemon tree. Every drop of water, every nutrient, every mineral required for growth must pass through the root system first. And here's something many gardeners don't realize. Roots need oxygen, just like the leaves, just like you. Healthy soil contains tiny pockets of air. These spaces allow oxygen to reach the roots. The roots use that oxygen to generate energy and absorb nutrients efficiently. When the soil structure is healthy, everything works beautifully. The roots breathe, the tree grows, the fruit develops. But when those air pockets disappear, problems begin. And that's exactly what happens in poorly drained soil. The roots become trapped in an environment with very little oxygen, and that's where the decline begins. Slowly, quietly, and often without any obvious warning. Many lemon trees aren't killed by drought. They're killed by kindness. Too much watering, too often, for too long. When soil remains constantly wet, oxygen levels begin dropping rapidly. The roots struggle to breathe. Their energy production slows. Their ability to absorb nutrients declines, and stress begins building inside the plant. But that's only the first stage. The bigger problem arrives next. Waterlogged soil creates ideal conditions for harmful fungi and bacteria. Organisms that normally remain under control suddenly begin multiplying. They attack weakened roots, damaging root tissues, destroying feeder roots, and interfering with nutrient uptake. This condition is commonly known as root rot, and it's one of the most destructive problems affecting citrus trees. The dangerous part is that root rot often develops long before visible symptoms appear. By the time yellow leaves show up above ground, significant root damage may already exist below the surface. This is why many gardeners become frustrated. They keep treating the leaves, when the real battle is happening underground. This is where many well-meaning growers accidentally make a bad situation even worse. They see yellow leaves, assume the tree is hungry, and apply additional fertilizer. The logic seems reasonable, but damaged roots cannot process nutrients efficiently. Instead of helping the tree, excessive fertilizer can create additional stress. The concentrated salts found in many fertilizers may irritate already weakened roots. The root system becomes even less effective. Nutrient uptake declines further, and the symptoms continue. It's like giving a large meal to someone with a serious stomach illness. The problem isn't the amount of food, it's the body's ability to process it. Before feeding a struggling lemon tree, it's often more important to restore root health first, because healthy roots are what make nutrient absorption possible. This is where hydrogen peroxide enters the picture. At first glance, hydrogen peroxide seems simple. but its chemistry makes it surprisingly useful in certain gardening situations. Hydrogen peroxide consists of water and an extra oxygen molecule. Its formula is HO. As it breaks down, that extra oxygen is released into the surrounding environment. And for stressed roots, that oxygen can be incredibly valuable. When applied correctly, hydrogen peroxide helps increase oxygen availability around the root zone. This can support root respiration, improve nutrient uptake, and create a less favorable environment for certain harmful anaerobic organisms. Many experienced gardeners use it as a temporary recovery tool for overwatered plants and early root stress. Not because it's magic, but because oxygen is essential for root health. Hydrogen peroxide also has mild cleansing properties. It may help reduce some harmful microbial populations that thrive in poorly aerated conditions. The result is a cleaner, healthier environment where roots have a better chance of recovering. But success depends on using it properly. Too much can cause damage, and concentration matters a lot. Before applying any hydrogen peroxide solution, start with the soil itself. This step is often overlooked. Gently loosen the top layer of soil around the tree, not deeply and not aggressively. The goal is simply to improve airflow and allow the solution to penetrate more effectively. Once the soil is loosened, prepare your solution. For home gardening, a diluted 3% hydrogen peroxide solution is generally the safest option. Mix 1 part hydrogen peroxide with 3 to 4 parts water. If using a stronger concentration, increase the amount of water accordingly. Stir thoroughly, then slowly pour the solution around the root zone. Focus on the soil, not the leaves. You may notice bubbling. That's normal. It indicates oxygen is being released. After treatment, avoid overwatering for several days. Allow the soil to breathe, provide adequate sunlight, and ensure proper drainage moving forward. If root stress was the primary issue, gradual improvements in vigor and leaf color may appear over time. While recovery methods can help, prevention is always the better strategy. Start with proper drainage. Never allow water to remain trapped around the roots for extended periods. Choose containers with sufficient drainage holes. Use well-draining soil mixes, and always check soil moisture before watering. Don't water because it's Tuesday. Water because the soil actually needs it. Pay attention to warning signs, slow growth, persistent yellowing, and soil that remains wet for days after watering. These are signals worth investigating. Healthy roots create healthy trees, and healthy trees produce better flowers, better fruit, and stronger harvests. Most root problems begin gradually, which means they can often be prevented before serious damage occurs. When a lemon tree begins declining, the leaves tell only part of the story. The real answer is often hidden underground, in the roots, because roots are responsible for everything: water uptake, nutrient absorption, growth, flowering, and fruit production. If those roots become stressed, suffocated, or infected, the entire tree suffers. That's why successful lemon growing starts below the soil surface. Protect the roots, improve aeration, avoid chronic overwatering, and focus on creating a healthy underground environment. Because sometimes the problem isn't what you're feeding your lemon tree, it's what the roots are struggling to survive.